as where I used to live as where I live now. And that's the machine, but today is a little rainy morning, so I'm gonna take a walk. Hello, Richard Nikoley here. We'll take a walk. Talk about a few things. Good morning. Well, probably you enjoy watching outward rather than watching me talk. I try to discern what's in the background of you. This way you get a little bit of a tour of my neighborhood. That's a bar. Good morning. That's a pretty good restaurant. There's a few restaurants. This is a street. It goes down to the beach. A pretty mild street in this general area called Pratumnak Hill. It's up and overlooks the whole area of Pattaya. That's why they call it a hill. It's not a terribly long walk, but normally it's blistering hot and humid even at exactly 7 o'clock in the morning this time of year. So given that it's overcast and slightly drizzling on and off, chance to this is a off day from the gym. I did 4 straight days today, or this week, and taking 3 off, and then we'll do 4 or 5 next week, but I pretty much always do them consecutive days. It's just my thing. Okay, so first item of news is as soon as I get back, this concerns the blog, freetheanimal.com. I'm making all my downloads free, and that's because I've recently changed things up as to the paywall. So a lot more free material. So posts, when it's posted, unless it's a no paywall post, a free post, and it's members, then it's behind the paywall for 90 to 120 days. So every month I go through and unpaywall all the posts from 4 months. So there's always 3 months of member posts. So basically membership is a 3 month preview. So all the archives are open now. So might as well do the same for the downloads. The downloads are good for new subscribers to the email list. People download them, they get on the list. Some become paying members. That's how it works. So then I just have one thing to concern myself with: my continual drive to just clean, simple simplicity. And if you like what I do, buy me the equivalent of a couple of coffees per month. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. No hype bullshit. So that's that. So some downloads of interest might be the full body high frequency gym thing, though most people are lazy fat fucks who won't get off their asses and they make excuses. Sorry, not sorry. It's fucking disgusting. I'm 63 years old and I kick the shit out of most 20-something fat fucks. Get off your fucking lazy asses. That's why the Western world is going to shit, because of all the so-called men. They're barely male anymore. Always whining and making excuses, spending most of their time online arguing about their imaginary friends in the sky fairy world. Stupid fucks. Look, if your religion, your Western Christianity, was gonna save the world, don't you think it would have happened within the last 2,000 fucking years, you fucktards? It's because you've got your head in the fucking clouds, which I guess the clouds are up in your ass now. Jesus. All I did, go online and people invoking God and Jeebus. Stupid fucks. It takes men and men of action. Bunch of pussies. God bless you. I wish he'd fuck you. If he existed. But there is no such thing. You know it in your heart. That's another part of the problem. You lack the courage and the agency to be your own person. You always gotta check with God, check with your wife, check with your girlfriend, check with somebody. How about you develop yourself and then you'll know how you're doing. So this is the climb. It's not a long climb. It's maybe 300 meters. Goes up to this memorial, which is that's the best way to describe it. It's kind of a shrine or something, very revered. And down the way down there is the Pattaya Big Buddha. Just kind of, these occupy the high spots above Pattaya Bay. And this one is the Thai Navy, and there is a shrine to, I guess basically you could call him the founder of the modern Thai Navy. So back in the 1800s, I forget the date, but you know, 1800s sometime, he traveled to England, spent time in the Royal Navy, supposed to learn what he needed to about modern naval warfare and tactics, subject near and dear to my heart as a former US Navy officer. So we'll get a look at it, then have a little chat about the elephant in the room, which is the Trump conviction for mislabeling check stubs, which nobody in the world would be convicted over, and especially as a felony, and especially 34 counts with a total potential penalty of 134 years in jail. Laughing stock America. I tell you what, the whole world is laughing at you, and I put it directly, squarely on the shoulders of conservative men, males, conservative males, Republican males, religious males, evangelical males, Second Amendment type males. All of you fucking cowards who do literally the least you can do. You pray. You preach to choirs. You agitate amongst yourselves. Brother this and brother that. And the result is you get steamrolled. Like you should, really. Like you should. Bunch of pussies. You say, well, Richard, what are you doing? Look, it's not my kind of war. So I bought a one-way ticket 4.5 years ago. A one-way ticket 4.5 years ago. I got the fuck out. So it's closed off this time of the morning, but get a look over the fence. And sadly, this used to be a great place to come have a smoothie and whatnot, and they had food and everything here. They shut it all down. I heard that. So there's a statue of the guy over there. It's closed up right now. Doesn't look like it's locked, but I'll be respectful of the gate. And there's another shrine thingy up there. Perhaps we can walk up there. Why not do that? I think that is open enough. It's been a while since I walked up here anyway. So I didn't even know I was going to rant about this stuff. I was just going to talk about Trump's conviction. But, you know, I just look at the way the Western world is going, and everybody, whether your heart's in the right place or not, I'm not saying your heart isn't in the right place. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that the way you go about it and the way you think change is going to be affected. Look, okay, let me put it this way. Do you think, you know, if your fucking prayer and going to church and holding Bible studies and all this other stupid, you know, self-delusional bullshit would do anything. Why did they fight the American Revolutionary War? Why didn't they just sit around and pray hard? And when things didn't work out, why didn't they just pray harder? Huh? Why didn't y'all pray Hitler out of his role? You really think so? Okay, you're gonna elect Trump. Well, most likely. All right, so turn the camera this way for a bit, I guess. And there is me standing before Pattaya Bay. As I've mentioned many times before, it was out there that I arrived by ship, USS Reeves, in 1986. And there's no piers with deep enough draft. I don't even know if Bali High was there at the time. That's where all the little ferries and other boats, transportation boats, use. It's right at the bottom of this hill. So we were at anchor out there for about 5 days. It's 1986, so we're talking 38 years ago. And I put in for leave, so I left the ship a couple hours after dropping anchor, took a water taxi in, stayed right up here near where I am right now at the Royal Cliff Hotel the first night. Was a little too far away from the action, and we're on foot and we're prohibited from renting motorbikes. I could only rent a motorbike here when I was here on my own, not in connection with a Navy trip. Well, you can do anything you want, but you know, you don't want to rock the boat, as it were. I did get away with it once. It was a few years later. That was in '88 when I left the Reeves and went back to the States for about a month, and then came San Francisco, flew San Francisco to Bangkok via Hong Kong to meet my next command, which was 7th Fleet Staff, which is on the Blue Ridge. And of course, this was all engineered this way because the Blue Ridge was going to be in Port Pattaya. So that's where I would you know, I just realized this. My first ship, USS Reeves, I met in Subic Bay, Philippines. And my second command, 7th Fleet Staff on Blue Ridge, I met right here in Pattaya. So I flew in, but I flew in a week early. So I had a week to myself, a week or 10 days, something like that. And then the ship came in, and I had to go report for duty. But then I was off. Actually, I can't remember whether I reported for duty when it arrived or I just waited until its departure. I can't remember, but I do know that I had a motorbike rental. So I kind of skated, even though the regulations stipulate that we can't have motorbikes. I was kind of here on my own until the ship got here, and I wasn't attached to the command yet. So it's a gray area. Let's call it a gray area of the military justice system. Anyway, so the Trump thing, you know, you've seen everything you can possibly see, all the memes and all the, you know, everybody knows what's going on. Nobody in the world would get prosecuted to this extent for mischaracterized shit. You can even commit tax fraud, and it's pretty rare that you actually go to jail, and you have many opportunities to kind of fix it if they catch you, right? So it's obvious to anybody with a brain what's going on here, and they'll say, well, the evidence is strong and the evidence in the law and blah 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 blah. Yeah, but they don't prosecute people for this. They just don't. That's inarguable, right? So the prosecution is whether it's illegal, whether he did it, whether the penalties established for such thing. Although there's big question about what was, they've got like 3 grab bag crimes there, and in New York law you don't have to actually stipulate which crime you're convicting him on and what specific things he did, you know, like would happen if you had justice and not kangaroo courts, where you just basically do whatever you want and then create a narrative so that stupid fucks like Democrats, and there are no exceptions, buy it. And I'm not saying Republicans don't do the same fucking thing. I mean, you know, and it must be said, Republicans are the ones who started this lawfare, you know, it's a play on warfare, lawfare thing with Clinton for a fucking blowjob in the White House. Okay, not a great deal. Just don't re-elect the guy then. Or, you know, don't re-elect a Democrat when his term is up. But what you did is you contrived the thing of he lied under oath. Yeah, he lied about getting a blowjob in the fucking Oval Office. You would too. So, Republicans, you fucking started it. So you were the first morally corrupt, you know, and put that in your pipe and smoke it. Moral corruption in order to get somebody who's moral corrupt. But oh, it's about sex and we're Christians and we lie about that shit and then virtue signal about, isn't it always the Republicans who are, you know, staunchly against gay marriage and all this stuff, the ones sucking off other guys underneath the stalls in the men's restrooms, or fucking their pages, their interns in the butt. Yeah, I got you know, so I say, I'm not on anybody's side here. And arguably the Republicans and the conservatives are worse because they pretend that they're righteous, because they pray to their imaginary friend Sky God. And Jeebus is on their side. Bunch of fucktards. Fuck you. Males of inaction, not men. None of you. You're pussies. Anyway, so everybody knows what's going on. It's just another testament to how the West is collapsing all around us. And again, it goes back to the failure of males. 100%. Why do you think there's so many cunts out there? Because the males are so fucking awful. There's a lot of great men out there, tell you what. But they're a lot easier to spot now because there's so many fucking pussy boys. Just look at Congress, the Republican Congress. You know, I was thinking about it this morning. It's like there's like room for like 2 or 3 Mavericks. You know, what do we got? Maybe 4. I don't know. Maybe 4 or 5. You got Rand Paul. He marches to his own drummer, does what he should regardless of what the politics say, just like his dad. You know, sure, they probably have shit that they have to do just to be there in the first place, but I think they tend to minimize it, and they certainly don't to back down on moral issues. You got Massey, he's another decent guy. What is it? You got what's this? Johnson, the guy who's been, you know, really stalwart and going out, getting to the bottom of this COVID and vax bullshit. You know, but who do you end up electing Speaker of the House? You know, you got a compromise. You always got to be a fucking compromiser, right? Well, that's politics, though. You know, see, you've got bullshit baked in your cake. So don't complain when you cut it open and you say, hey, it's full of shit. It is. It's systemic. And it's because we're a fascist country. Because everything is beholden to money. If you wanted to cure this, you could cure it overnight. Constitutional amendment. There will be nothing but personal donations to political candidates. Zero corporate money ever in any politics. Zero lobbying, zero corporate money, zero, not one fucking penny. You go to jail for life if you violate it. There, fixed it right now. You know, the getting money out of politics is nothing new, right? But, you know, I mean, going back, who's McCain, the only, guy that had a form of brain cancer that took 40 years to clinically diagnose, his big deal was campaign finance reform. But all that is, when you get right down to it, is ways to, it's like tax code. It's just ways to make it tough on your competition, right? Or to help out established interests, make it hard on up-and-comers, right? It's not, if you want, it's easy to do. Campaign finance reform, it's easy. Personal donations only, zero corporate money, not one fucking penny. You got it. And none of this would be happening, right? Because everything that happens ultimately goes to who's paying to keep me in power, and what are they getting for it? And what do the corporations are so both amoral and immoral, right? There's immorality, but even amorality. In other words, we don't care about the right thing. We don't care about the wrong thing. We care about the profits and the stock price. And everybody has to get up and look at where their portfolio is in the morning. So everybody else is fucking amoral as well. Oh, look at when you ever see, oh, my stock went up and up and up. Do you ever ask yourself why? Why did your stock go up and up and up? What? Do you have a lot of defense contractors, and because they're getting billions from this treasury to manufacture and produce weapons for Ukraine, trying to start World War III? Did you ever stop and think, oh, my portfolio's way up, but wow, that's pretty fucking awful. If I was God for an hour, I'd wipe it all out. Pharmaceutical companies and defense contractors, both. All pharmaceutical companies, all defense contractors to zero. But guess what? Not only would all the direct investors lose their money, but everyone in mutual funds whose funds invest in them. So billions of people penniless. That'll teach you a fucking lesson to look how your profits are being made. Well, on that note, I just arrived back home. Pretty good rant, I'd say. Saudi Cop. Do. I am 10th floor. Up that way, actually on this side. Do-do. Do. One thing I like about this place is it has a very nice pool area. And a gym, which I never use because I should go do cardio in there, I suppose. But I have my own gym that's about 2.5 kilometers away. Well, okay, that will, until next time. I don't know what got me going, but all I have to do is turn on the camera and I'm off and running. Rant City. Okay, have a good one.